everybody? Joe here, your realtor, and today I'm sitting down with one of the best insurance agents in all of Tucson, if not the best.
Thank you.
Actually pretty good. Really good insurance agent. Kimiko Donahue with
Everything Insurance.
Everything Insurance. By everything insurance, you mean everything, right?
Yep, we insure everything.
Everything. Even the kitchen sink?
Even the kitchen sink.
That's what I'm talking about. Yes, all right, good.
Those
Even
are pretty
the
important. Anything can happen to those.
You never know. If you get tossed out the window, you just, exactly, right?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's craziness. But, so the reason I wanted to bring Kimiko over here is because, I'm going to tell you guys right now, I get so many questions about insurance. Like, what is homeowners insurance? What does it cover? Is my car covered in homeowners insurance? If the garage falls down and just, boom, breaks it all out? Like, we get all kinds of questions. Like, crazy stuff all day, right? Like, my Twitter blows up on just everything, and some of it's insurance. So, I wanted to bring Kimiko over here so we could talk about insurance, all kinds of insurance, all right? And, homeowner insurance, what that is, and just, shed some light, man. Like, just shed, because it's like a dark little area. It's like
It's the necessary evil.
Exactly, right? We all got to pay it.
Exactly.
But we don't know what we're actually paying for.
Right. That's where I come in.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. Give me some. Crack that thing.
Woo!
All right. So let's go ahead and start. First thing I want to talk about is what is homeowners insurance?
It covers your home, but not just the house itself. It also covers the stuff inside, anything attached to the house, detached structures on the property as well, and also gives you liability coverage. So an example would be if someone gets hurt, if you have a swimming pool, if they trip and fall in your house, and even with things on social media and people talking and things like that, you can have some coverage for that as well.
What do you mean people talking on social media? Explain that to me, because that sounds pretty crazy.
That's opening up a whole can of worms.
Yeah, let's do it. Go ahead.
Let's say you say something silly on Facebook and it hurts somebody, and then they try to sue you for whatever it might be, defamation of character, or you just do something wrong. We're all human. There can be coverage for that. Liability coverage.
So liability. So what? They would go up to your house or something like that, or how does that work?
Oh yeah. If it's a sue happy country, unfortunately. But anyone can sue anyone for anything. Okay. Which is why we have things to protect us from that. So if you are someone with assets, you own a home, you own cars, you own stuff that they can come after your paycheck too. You want to make sure you cover that.
Okay. Cool. All right. So. What else?
Those would be good questions more for a lawyer than an insurance
agent. Right?
Yeah.
That's pretty in depth right there. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
That was like straight up. Okay. Now let's talk about like homeowners. What is homeowners insurance? So it covers the whole house.
Yes.
Right? So basically, what does it not cover? Kind of thing.
Probably one of the biggest things is flood. There's actually specific policies for flood insurance, whether or not you're in a flood zone. But that's probably one of the biggest exclusions that I would let people know on a home policy.
Okay. So it doesn't cover flood at all. So
correct. Yeah.
If God came down and said, you know what, make it rain, it's not covered.
That's why they have flood insurance.
Okay. All right. Good stuff. So talk to me about homeowner insurance. Basically, if I have a pool, like what does it cover in that kind of case? Like what is it? Does it cover the pool equipment? Does it cover the pool?
Yeah.
So if something happens,
it doesn't. So when we add a pool, for example, onto the homeowner's insurance, I make sure we also have higher liability because there's more risk.
Sure.
And one of the things a lot of companies, they want to make sure that you actually have the backyard completely closed off. And I believe in Arizona, they also want you to have it locked as well. So little kids can't, get in and get hurt.
Nice. Okay. Well, let's say God forbid, something does happen to someone. Will that homeowner's insurance cover that? Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. There's liability coverage for that.
Okay.
Up to the limit on your policy.
Now, how do the policies work? That's good. Policies. Let's talk a little bit about policies. How do the policies work? What kind of policies do you have? And we'll start there.
Okay. Well, the nice thing, I am an independent broker, so I have options with multiple companies. Everybody has a type of homeowner's policy. We can write your home if it's vacant. So if you're someone that does house flipping or there's nobody in there, we can do those. We can do seasonal homes, secondary homes, but your primary home. We want to make sure that we find you the best coverage at the best rate.
Okay.
Hopefully, I answered a little bit more.
A little bit, yeah.
We can get more specific.
All right. Let's talk about what policy would you recommend for a first-time home buyer who's never bought a house before, brand new, right? Wide-eyed, they're bushy, they're like, oh man, I don't know what I'm doing. Kimmy, lay it on me. Give me what you got. What would you recommend for the first-time home buyer?
Well, just your standard, they call it HO5. I know we're getting an insurance lingo. But just your standard home insurance policy,
Okay.
I actually do have some companies that specialize in first-time home buyers. They give you a special discount, a special credit for being brand new to that home.
Okay.
There's also some companies that they call it credit-based insurance scores. So they might look at your credit, and sometimes certain buyers might not meet that certain threshold.
Okay.
So I do have a company that does not do credit-based insurance scores.
So
which
they don't.
I've
So
found
basically,
that it helps a lot.
if let's say because you got to get a credit check, right? Normally,
Right.
okay. And if you're buying a first-time home and you're in the middle of the loan process, right? You kind of don't want your credit getting checked.
Exactly. Well, and with insurance, when they do that, it's a soft hit, so it wouldn't show up as an inquiry, a hard inquiry. So it shouldn't affect anything there. But in this case, they don't do that. So there's absolutely no question there.
So no credit check whatsoever. They're just like, okay, here's the deal. You got a job. You got a paycheck. We'll bless
Done.
you off.
Done.
Right? Done.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. That's pretty sweet, though. I didn't know that. Okay.
And we can build a mortgage company too, so it makes it really easy for homeowners.
Nice.
It's just worked into their mortgage payment.
Really? That is really cool. I didn't know that's it's a new one for me, guys.
Easier.
So that's pretty good, actually. I'll have to keep that one in my back pocket there.
Deal.
Stuff it in there. All right. Now, what else, as far as homeowner insurance, do you recommend? What things do the policy not cover?
Okay.
Okay, like a normal policy, like let's say the entry level, right? Because there's different levels.
There are, yeah.
Right, so
I would say that the biggest thing when you are shopping for home insurance is making sure that the home is actually covered for replacement cost and what it's actually worth to replace that home. So when I review people's insurance policies, probably the most common thing that I find is it's just insured for whatever they bought it for.
Okay.
And as you know, the market can fluctuate.
Exactly.
You might get the house at a ganga deal, right?
Yeah.
Or, you might find someone that overpaid for a home and they're insuring it for an amount that's maybe too high.
Okay.
So I've seen both. So the market value is different than the replacement cost, as you know. It's whatever that home can sell for according to the market. Replacement cost is whatever it's going to cost to rebuild.
Okay. Now, as far as the market, is that something you can pay up front and say, hey, I want to have like a market value on my home, or how does that work?
That's a good question. You can have, they call it like a stated value or an appraised value.
Okay.
So there are some custom homes that, you get a contractor to, evaluate it and say this is how much it would be to rebuild.
Okay.
We would just need proof of that, and we can insure it at that point.
At that price. So it's like every couple of years, you probably want to have someone come out there, appraise it.
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, if it's a, home that you really, like your forever home,
Yeah.
which there's not a lot of people that want to have a forever home. Like I tell everybody, you never know where you're going to be in a couple of years.
Yeah,
right? You just don't know. But if it's, where you're raising your kids at, you got your family, you're definitely not moving, it's probably a good idea, right?
Yes.
Maybe. Okay. All right. Okay.
And it's a good idea to take a look at your insurance policy every year anyway, which is a nice thing. So let's say as a broker, their home policy goes up that year. We can just reshop it and find them a better company or, a better price at that point.
Oh, really? So is that what you do? You bring your clients in once a year, try to talk to them a little bit?
Because the other thing, too, is things change. A lot of companies have a built-in inflation endorsement. So every year the home policies, the dwelling coverage or the coverage that's actually for the structure goes up each year. Sometimes it goes up a little more than it actually needed to. So we just keep an eye on that.
Okay. And you can do that with all your clients.
Yes.
That's pretty cool, actually. So, like, once a year, you guys, if you're going to
shop
use,
for
there you go.
Yep, we
Too
do
easy.
the shopping for you.
So it's like a grocery store, right? You just come in, you pick and choose.
Yeah, just call me. Kimmy, we need to reshop. Done.
Wow. Dude, that's pretty cool. I like that. All right, good stuff. Now, anything else what kind of advice would you give first-time home buyers about homeowners insurance? Like, if you could go back, when you buy your first home and you say, put yourself in that mindset, what would you tell them when it comes to homeowners insurance?
If something doesn't make sense, ask the question and don't be afraid. There's no silly questions because insurance can be confusing, and I try to put it into the most simple, easy terms because I know you guys don't want to hear all the in-depth details. I'll just let you know what it covers, what it doesn't cover. Here's how much it costs, and we'll make it easy for you.
Exactly. Like the whole insurance jargon is crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like policies. What is a policy? Policies is your contract, right?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
It's a piece of paper. It says, we promise to pay this if you promise to pay us.
And your liability that's exactly what so explain liability real quick so everybody kind of knows that.
Liability. So that is, again, if somebody gets hurt on your property and tries to sue you, that is personal protection.
Okay.
Personal
protection.
It's not the structure.
Yeah.
It's not the actual
personal
building.
protection. That's a liability.
And then there's personal property coverage, which is the contents inside the home. And if you're somebody that has, let's say a certain amount of jewelry that exceeds the limitations on a policy, you want to add that on separately. So there's things that are limited, and it's different per company, are typically any kind of collectibles or fine arts, silverware, gold, jewelry, and firearms is also limited as well.
Oh, wow. Okay. Good stuff right there. So that's pretty cool. I like that. Now, what is a deductible? You guys have deductibles in homeowner insurance? Okay, go ahead. Explain the deductible.
So the easiest way to explain a deductible is it is the portion that the insured is responsible for, and then the insurance company pays after that. So some people think, let's say you have $1,000 deductible. Oh my goodness, I have to pay $1,000. You don't have to pay it. It just means the insurance company is going to cut you a check for the amount of the damage minus your deductible.
Minus your deductible, okay.
Exactly. And the easiest way to think about the deductible is the higher your deductible, the less your premium's going to be.
Oh, wow.
Because it means the insurance company is going to it doesn't have to pay as much because you have a higher deductible.
Okay. So that deductible is just basically, hey, here, if I pay my $1,000, you know what I mean, then they'll pay it all off,
exactly.
Right? Okay.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Right? That makes sense because it's crazy. Like, insurance has always been, like, really crazy for me. You know, like, I know you need it, and I know it's, like, you have to have it on a lot of things, but it's just I don't really pay attention at all. But then again, I don't think most people do, right? Yeah. That's what we're talking today, okay? All right. So we talked about homeowners insurance, you know, what it covers. Now, does it cover electrical, plumbing, and all that stuff, or is it just more...
Yes,
you have to add that in that. There you go.
Yes and no. It depends on, what happens. So there's some people have old plumbing, and there's certain types that are not covered. So when we talk about plumbing, we ask, what kind of pipes is it? What kind of plumbing is it? When has it been updated? So, for example, if your pipes burst, we will cover the damage to the house, but not necessarily the plumbing, depending on, what...
Okay. Now, can you add that to your homeowner's insurance?
There's things like home warranties, and we have certain home warranty coverages as well, and we can look into that.
Yeah. So I make sure I get everybody a home warranty.
Yes, good.
Everybody knows they get home warranty, this guy. All right? But I'm just saying, so it's different. The home warranty is a little bit different than the home, because I get that question a lot. Like, hey, I got homeowner's insurance. Why do I need a home warranty, Joe?
Right.
I'm like, well, the homeowner insurance is like the big, old arching house itself, right? The warranty is like the little pieces.
The little pieces, and there's some things that home warranty covers that insurance won't.
Yeah.
So, and there are some companies that have similar to home warranty endorsements, but it's not necessarily the same. So it would definitely be a good idea to compare and see what's more important to you.
Okay, good stuff. I like that. All right. Anything else on homeowner insurance? Anything else? Any other advice or anything you want to toss out there for everybody?
It's probably one of the easiest to shop for. So if anyone does have any questions, give me a call and I can help with that.
Okay, good stuff. All right. Let's talk about car insurance, dude.
Okay.
Let's talk about the zoom car insurance. All right. So car insurance, right? I hear a lot of different crazy things out there. What is a normal car insurance payment a month? Like, what are you looking at?
It's different for everybody. A lot of people, my favorite question is when people call in and ask for full coverage. And it's such a loaded statement because everyone has a different definition for full coverage.
Okay.
Some people, full coverage means all the bells and whistles, rental car reimbursement, emergency roadside. Wow. Some people think full coverage is just whatever the state tells you to have and whatever your lien holder tells you to have.
Really? Okay.
I've seen it all.
What is full coverage?
So I don't like to use that word.
Tell us what full coverage is. All right,
if you tell me full coverage, I'm going to give you the highest coverage possible and all the bells and whistles. That way there's no questions.
Okay.
Which could mean higher premium, and it might be things that you might not need. So let's say I added rental car reimbursement on your policy, but you own 5 cars. Do you really need a rental car if one car goes down?
This is true.
And that's one of the things we ask. So, when we do give somebody a proposal, we ask those kind of questions. Like, do you have a lot of passengers in your car? Okay. If you do, we actually increase certain coverages to make sure your passengers are covered too.
Oh, wow. That's pretty good, man. I like that. So basically kind of like a one size does not fit all. In the car insurance umbrella, everybody's different.
So a lot of big companies, I like to call them the cookie cutter policies.
Really?
It's a template. You just plug someone's information in and here's your policy. But it might not be the right one for you because, again, everyone's different.
Sure. All right. Let's not beat around the bush here. What's the cheapest policy you can get out there right now to drive your car?
I wouldn't put a premium to it because that's different for everybody depending on where you live, what kind of car it is. But the smallest amount of coverage is just the state minimum liability limits and nothing else. It's excluding everything else, which basically just means you're legal to drive on the road, and the only thing it's going to cover is if you hit something up to $15,000 per person which is not much. So if you disable somebody, that's not going to cover their payments.
Wow.
And the minimum property damage, so let's say if you hit somebody's, brand new Mercedes, it's going to be more than $10,000 for sure.
Holy cow.
Most new cars.
No one knows that. I'm telling you, nobody knows that.
The minimum liability limits are 15, 30, 10. So what that means is it's $15,000 per person, $30,000 per accident is where it maxes out, and $10,000 for property damage. So that could include, cars, a wall, something that you hit. Yeah. Which is what the state requires, but it's not a lot of coverage enough, right? No. And especially because most cars driving out there right now are well over $10,000.
Good night. So I'm telling you right now, that's something to think about. That's crazy, right? I mean, that's just something to think about because people don't understand.
We just want the cheapest.
They think $15,000 is that's crazy. No, we're not going to spend. But I mean, piece of junk, Mercedes is
you could be the best driver in the world, and think, oh, I don't need that much coverage. But let's say a dog runs out in the middle of the road and you swerve to avoid him because you don't want to hit the puppy. Yeah. But you hit a barrier, or you hit a bicyclist. I mean, we have a lot of bicycle riders here in town. We do, and they're hard to see. Yeah, that is crazy, man. Yeah, so minimum coverage is not necessarily it's not the best. It's not the best at all. Yeah, when I was a 16-year-old car driver, I thought I needs minimal coverage. And then thinking back at it, I'm like, holy, can you imagine if I would have hit someone, dude? Bad. Exactly. I would have been insane. And a lot of people think, well, I don't have, that many assets, or maybe I don't have that much stuff. But the next thing they'd try to go after is your paycheck. Mm-hmm. And, that's the hardest thing that you work for. Yeah. And you don't want them to. No, 100%. So, the difference between the minimum liability and even the next step up is such a small amount. If you truly can't afford, let's say the higher liability limits, we can always raise it as things progress, as, you get a pay raise next year. Exactly, right? I mean, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Makes sense. All right. So what kind of coverage would you recommend? If there was a coverage, kind of a blank kind of coverage that you would recommend for everybody as far as the car, what would you recommend? Again, that's tough because everyone's so different. Yeah. If you have a loan on your car, a lot of banks require you to have comprehensive and collision coverage. So that means that they actually want the car itself covered. Yep. So the best way to explain comprehensive is everything but collision. So that's your fire, theft, vandalism, windshield coverage. Oh, wow. Okay. Things like that. All right. No, makes sense. Mm-hmm. I like it. So kind of comprehensive coverage is kind of something you would recommend a lot of people make sure they have. Especially here in Arizona, because, how often do you get rock chips in your car? Dude, all the time. Yes. I'm driving down the freeway, it's boom. All the time. So definitely make sure you have something for that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Cemex is on my hit list, everybody. Tell you right now, those guys are 2 rocks coming off those trucks. Anyways, I digress. So, car insurance, make sure you have collision and comprehensive coverage is probably where you want to start, right? Yeah, and that's for your car. And again, it's going to be different for everybody because you might have, your daily driver and your beater car that you might take out every once in a while. Let's say the car is worth $2,000 because, some of us have little fun trucks that you like to drive around. Do you really want to pay, let's say, $500 every 6 months for a car that's worth $2,000? Yeah. Because, after a couple of years, you just paid off the car and insurance. So it's really up to the insured if you want to be out of pocket at the time of a loss or not. Sure, right? Yep. Yeah. 100%, dude. I agree. 100%. All right. Now, you do a little bit of everything as far as insurance, right? Mm-hmm. Let's talk about Mexico insurance. Okay. So hit me up with what is Mexico insurance and what does it cover? Great question. Because a lot of people say, I don't need it. Well, you do need it. But exactly. So, and here's why. So when you cross that border and you go into Mexico, you have to have insurance that covers you in Mexico. And a lot of companies, they say they only cover you certain miles in. You might be going farther than that. Mm-hmm. And a lot of them have this little fine print that says only covers you if you hit another American in Mexico. So be aware of that. We do sell Mexico insurance policies. And you can buy it for, let's say you're going for 3 days, you just buy it for 3 days. Really? Mm-hmm. They charge you daily. Or if you're someone that goes regularly, you can just buy it for the year and it covers you for the whole year. And what does it cover? Give me just give me let's say I go into Mexico and I get in a car accident. Yeah. What is it going to cover? So there's different levels. Take care of me. Yeah, different levels. They have things that are, just covers you for the liability in case you hit somebody and they get mad at you and try to sue you. It also can cover the car itself. But there's other levels that will actually, they can air vac you out of there if you get. Really? Mm-hmm. Air vacuum. Yeah. It'll cover that. Yeah.
It's a lot of money to airbag someone.
Yeah.
Just throwing it out there.
Yeah. Well, those are, they're going to be more premium prices, but, they'll cover that in case they got to get you out of there.
Wow.
Because you might not get care there.
Gee,
yeah.
That's insane. So you do need it. It is something you do need.
They require it. Mexico
and you
requires
make sure
it.
And don't get the cheapest one. That is what you're trying to say. Try to take care of yourself.
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
I mean, it makes sense.
And we'd talk it through, to see what's going to fit what you need the best.
Good. I mean, like I said, I think the whole like one size fits all is a little bit difficult for a lot of things, especially in
just like
insurance.
not a house fits all. If they have a big family, they might need more square footage.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is so true. Yeah.
So same thing with insurance.
Yeah. It's kind of like Burger King. Have your way. You
Yes.
I like it.
Now I need a burger.
Yeah. Burger time. What? All right. So let's go ahead and wrap this up. But is there anything as far as like insurance, any advice that you want to give people out there? Go ahead.
That's a great question. So when it comes to insurance, there's, the state makes you have auto insurance. The mortgage companies make you have homeowners insurance, but no one truly makes you have life insurance, for example. You have, let's say, not everyone crashes their car and actually totals it. Not everyone's house actually burns down. But everyone has to face that one day where we all pass. Yeah. And life insurance has always been something that when you bring it up, people get really uncomfortable. They don't want to talk about it, and sometimes agents kind of go, "Ooh, I don't want to talk about it either." I think it's really important to have, even if it's just something, because there's a lot of things that people leave behind that maybe didn't get taken care of, or that person's going to need a lot of help. Sure. Especially. Let's say it's a single person that doesn't have any kids, or they're not married. You still have a family and friends that are going to be there to take care of everything. And you see the car washes and the GoFundMe accounts and things like that, and it breaks your heart that they need that extra help.
No, it's true. And
a lot of life insurance is extremely inexpensive. I think people get this idea that it's a lot. It's really not.
Yeah, it's true.
Especially when they get a mortgage on this brand new home. And, say they want to leave it to somebody, they can leave it to somebody all paid off when they pass. Because
it'll pay everything, right? You get that money coming back in, and then...
Exactly.
And that's crazy. Yeah, I didn't even think about life insurance, but it's something...
It's a big deal. Yeah. It just... Not a lot of people talk about it, again, because nobody wants to talk about that... Yeah. The end.
Yeah. Well, I mean, who does?
Yeah.
This is a free ride, baby. We got to ride this thing out. Like, no one's... They'll be down or
exactly.
Come on. You know what I mean?
That's the thing about insurance, is just you never know. You know, and especially being in the industry for 10 years now, you've seen a lot of things, the great things that can happen when people do have the right coverage, but also the opposite of...
I'm sure you've seen it all, right? You've seen the ups and the downs.
I've seen a lot, yeah.
Wow, man. It's crazy out there. Like, it's kind of like break the glass only if needed, but you better hope you got it. You better hope you have that glass to break, right? Because,
exactly.
you just never know when... Turn on a dime out there, man. It is crazy. But yeah, life insurance is definitely a big one. I think everybody should have a little bit of coverage on that.
Yeah. Even and if it is a cost thing, again, there's some very small things that you can get, but at least it's something. Yeah.
Yeah, especially if you have kids. I'm telling you, right, if you have kids, and
it's a big one.
You need to make sure you leave something out there, especially if they're little. I would highly recommend it. You know what I mean? All right, so tell everybody where they can find you at, and how they get a hold of you, and if they have more questions, or if they're just like, you know what, I need to go shopping.
Yeah. Well, you can call or text me. Phone number is 520-256-3632, or you can visit my website, everythinginsure.com. You can also find me on Facebook and Instagram at Everything Insurance.
Everything Insurance, dude. I like it. Well, I appreciate you coming down, talking to me about this, and it was good. I think it was good. I got some great knowledge out of it that I was short on, because I get questions on insurance, especially homeowners insurance. I'm just like, oh man.
There's a lot of questions that could come up, and again, we try to put it in the most simple, matter of fact. Here it is, because there's a lot to it.
I like it, man. It's good stuff. Well, give me some crack
awesome.
it. I appreciate it. All right, guys. If you guys have any questions, definitely just comment below. Kimmy's tagged in it, so she can jump in there and go and answer it. But if you guys have any questions about insurance, or if you're looking to go shopping, give her a call. She's awesome. All right, guys.
Thank you.